The recent floods and rain in Indonesia have once again highlighted the devastating impact of climate change and the urgent need for effective disaster management strategies. Heavy rain caused flash floods and lahars in West Sumatra, Indonesia, killing at least 71 people and leaving 22 more missing. More than 4,800 people displaced, and the regencies of Agam and Tanah Datar most affected. The floods are triggered by hours of heavy monsoon rains, which are exacerbated by a lahar from Mount Merapi. The heavy rains, along with a landslide of mud and cold lava from Mount Merapi, caused a river to breach its banks. The deluge tore through mountainside villages along 4 districts in West Sumatra province just before midnight. The floods swept away people and submerged hundreds of houses and buildings, while forcing more than 3,100 to flee to temporary government shelters in Agam and Tanah Datar districts. The damage and casualties were extensive. At least 71 people died, 47 were injured, and 24 remained missing. Among the dead included 23 in Agam Regency, 29 in Tanah Datar, 12 in Padang Pariaman, 2 in Padang Panjang, and 2 in Padang. They warned the death toll could rise further as the search for the dozens missing continued. At least 531 houses, 32,985 hectares of land. Including rice fields, 21 bridges, and most major roads were damaged in 3 districts and 1 town. The flood also swept away people, and more than 100 houses and buildings were submerged. In Tanah Datar, several mosques and almost 220 buildings were damaged. Melly Carmila, a 29-year-old mother, described how she fled her home with her only child when the flood struck, clambering over a car lodged in another house to seek refuge on the 2nd floor of the house. The response to the disaster was swift. Numerous houses were washed away, and many victims were discovered in or near adjacent rivers, according to rescuers. Workers hurried to clear and mend a damaged bridge to improve access to the region. Melly said she saw other houses swept away and now wants to move home to a safer area away from the volcano. The BNPB declared a 14-day state of emergency in West Sumatra and distributed a total of Rp 3.4 billion in aid to local governments affected by the floods. They were also involved in searching for missing people in areas near rivers and clearing important roads from large rocks, debris, and mud due to flooding. Excavators were deployed to remove large rocks and trees. Rescue work was ongoing to search for the missing. Abdul Malik, chief of the provincial rescue team, said that 400 personnel, 8 excavators, and drones were deployed to assist in the search for missing people. The local government set up evacuation centers in the worst affected areas, and rescue teams deployed rubber boats in search of survivors. Yun maporkan. Kami lagi di suli. O menuju sa pantai. Parang ganun yan eh. Tenggelam ito nga. West Sumatra Governor Mahyeldi Ansarullah offered condolences and instructed authorities to collaborate with the response. More than 4,000 residents were displaced and sought refuge at shelters or nearby infrastructure. The BNPB said the government intended to relocate those who could not return to their homes. The agency's head said new homes would be ready in 6 months, numbering around 210. Indonesia's meteorological agency, BMKG, used cloud seeding to prevent rain clouds from reaching the worst-hit areas. The agency forecasted rain in the next few days to weeks, which prompted them to deploy an Air Force aircraft to release salt layers in an attempt to disperse rain clouds.